Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing great. My name is Narayan and I am your host here at Aquila View. Today we have with us Team Fibonacci from the United Kingdoms. So we'll be talking about their experiences and stories about the world renowned competition Formula One in schools. I'd like Team Fibonacci to introduce themselves first.
Hi, I'm Abby.
Hello, I'm Matt. I'm the design engineer of Fibonacci.
Hello, I'm Robbie.
Perfect. So guys, which high school do you come from?
We come from James Gillespie's High School.
Perfect. So, is it the first time that you are coming and participating in this competition?
It's the first time for me.
As a team, it's our first time, but I competed last year, but with a different team.
Okay, awesome. So, my first question to you all is that how you all came together and how did you form this team and how was that process be like? I mean, was it super difficult to form a team or was it like super easy?
I mean, it was Matt who kind of came up with the idea, but it didn't seem too difficult.
Well, we just got a group of friends together, and just thought about who would be really great for the team, and who would enjoy the challenge, and that's how we all came together.
All right. So, as you said, Matt, that you are the design engineer. What about Abby and Robbie?
Um, I'm a testing engineer.
Okay, Robbie.
I'm the manufacturing.
Coming up, what do you think about Formula One in schools as a competition? And what's the reason why you all guys are doing it? Like, there might be different reasons for you all to do it, right? So let's start with again, Abby.
Well, I think it's a really great competition. It's I'm really enjoying kind of coming up with new ideas, and it's also a great way to just like I don't know, learn more about different aspects of engineering.
Perfect. Also, what about you, Matt? Because you have been doing this. I mean, you have done this for almost a year now, and you're doing participating for the second time. So, what's your opinion on this competition?
Well, the first year around, it struck me just how much complicated engineering concepts that go into it, because you wouldn't think it would be too complicated. It's just a model car. But with aerodynamics and then deciding whether you want lift or downforce and then going through all the forces and really trying to work on the car to be as aerodynamic as possible, it's just such a great challenge. And every year there's more ideas, there's more ingenuity and new concepts we want to try. And yeah, it's just a really exciting challenge.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Robbie?
Well, yeah, I love the idea of it being make your car just the best. So you've got to go as far as possible, compete effectively with the other team.
Exactly. So, what like how pandemic has I mean, given a twist to this competition because maybe Matt might be able to relate this more better that before the pandemic the competition used to be a bit different, and after the pandemic things have gone virtual, and the races have been almost cancelled due to the pandemic, right? So, how does that scenario look like? Like we'll start with Abby maybe.
I mean, obviously, I haven't. This is my first year doing it, but it's definitely a bit more of a struggle with the virtual side of things. Yes, you can't meet up with the rest of your team as much, which definitely makes it harder. But it's also been good to, in a way, more important than to have this to do when we're a bit more isolated.
Yeah. What's your opinion on this, Matt?
Well, it's definitely changed a lot of elements of the competition. Like instead of the challenge of actually getting the materials and designing and manufacturing the whole pit display, it's just virtual, which means your imagination can go crazy with whatever you want to add to it, and any kind of designs, etc. And so it has changed the competition. But I quite like some of the things that's come out from it. Like we're meeting with more teams because it's virtual. We're using social media more and getting to talk with teams all around the world, which is a really cool element that we didn't have last year as much.
What's your opinion, Robbie?
Well, one thing that is definitely made harder getting sponsorship because so many so many businesses struggling. Many of them have much less money to donate to the cause. So that's definitely, I think, more of a struggle this year.
As Matt said that, I mean, the competition is about making that pit display and manufacturing the car. So, particularly this is for Matt. What was more fun, the actual one or the virtual thing that we're doing right now?
Well, they both came with different skills. The actual one, it was a lot of gathering the right resources and really close planning, because if any parts didn't connect together, then it was a pain. It was a nightmare. So you're the day before the competition, and you can't get the walls to stand up. But yeah, but with it being virtual, it's a whole new skill set. You've got to learn to use the software to allow you to do what you want. You've got to plan everything, and it's a different kind of challenge, and I like them both very much.
Coming to my next question, this would be again follow like this question will again be followed by Abby, then Matt, and then Robbie. How was the journey so far have been? Like, could you please give a context? I mean, how has it been till now that being working in a team and manufacturing things online and managing all the things virtually, with with context to your designations?
I think it's been going quite well with kind of virtual things. We maybe haven't been able to manufacture as much as we would like, but we've been doing like computer simulation testings as well.
Well, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. At first things were going really badly with gathering sponsors, and we were persisting, and then all of a sudden, it all went brilliant. We got loads, and it's just been, you're just gonna keep going, and it's really great having your team because you can support each other even if it's just like through online. And so yeah, it's been a bit of a tougher year, but definitely worth it. It's definitely worth the challenge.
I mean, it's definitely worth it. Yeah, exactly. Robbie?
Yeah, we kind of it was we kind of we started off. I think we were very well organized. We had a bit of a dip, kind of particularly as kind of trying to keep up with school as well on was a bit for me. But I think we're beginning to reorganize.
I'd like to know all of your guys' opinion that all right, if there's a kid aged between 9 to 19, should he be enrolling in for this competition? And say for suppose he or she enrolls in for the competition, what would be the benefits that they could gain out of it? And I mean, what was the sole purpose that all right, you guys are doing it? You guys are doing this competition. Like, there might be some benefits that all right, I mean, we'll be going to world finals, or there might be multiple things that you might have thought that all right, why should you do this competition? So we'll again start with Abby, and then we'll follow the same order.
I mean, I definitely think anyone between those ages should, definitely choose to do this competition because you learn so much from doing it, like how to use different software for all sorts of different things, and also just is a really good way to like you're going to learn to be a lot more organized and how to work like with the rest of your team, and it's loads of fun too, and it kind of helps you understand how in the real world like being an engineer designing these sorts of things would actually be like, so it gives you a bit of a experience.
Yeah, it's a really brilliant competition, and I really wish that we'd heard about it sooner because this would be a really cool thing to do when you're younger and in primary school, just to see just how wonderful technology has become. So seeing what you can do with it, and yeah, the skills you learn are just so brilliant for the real life and doing actual projects that we go on to do in the future. And yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, that I'd say, and anyone should definitely. And it's because there's such a wide range of things you can do in it.
Yeah. Also, I guess I forget to ask this question in the beginning. So, what is your age like? I mean, you guys are in the high school, like the senior year of your high school, or I mean, what's your age right now?
I'm 16.
Matt
Same here.
and Robbie.
And I'm 7.
All right, perfect. So, Amazing. So, I mean, you guys almost have 2 to 3 years more to again come back in the competition and I mean be the world champions, I guess, right? Definitely, definitely. I mean, these were the questions that were more specific to your journey and particularly in general, some personal questions about and some general questions about Formula One in school. I'd like to come deep into sponsorships right now. So, I mean, while approaching sponsors, what is the most important thing that you all keep in mind, right? Do you start with like how does the process of starting and approaching a sponsor looks like, right? The obviously we all plan some return on investments for our sponsors, and we make presentations and we make sponsorship prospectus. But could you lead us and tell us that how's that journey be like? How you start and how you eventually end up getting a sponsor?
Well, we've all been helping out with it because our initial approach was to find every email possible for every single business and every single company in the entire world who might ever want to help us. And then we just sent them the same email to every single one, and it took hours, and we were all just sitting at our computers going through the emails, and it took a very, very long time. And that kind of worked, but it wasn't very efficient. And the way we are doing it now is that I learned to 3D animate, and now we create cars for all our sponsors and then animate them, and that shows off that we reach far more people, and then other companies end up approaching us and asking if we're open to sponsorships in return for animations that promote them.
Do Abby has something to say about this?
It's just getting the companies to kind of understand like who we are and what we're actually doing. I think a lot of people haven't really heard of F1 in schools. But yeah.
Is there a trend from your high school that like teams are participating year by year in the Formula One in schools, or are you the first team that is participating from your high school?
Yeah. Last year was the first year our school went into the competition, and there was a huge boom. Loads of teams. I think we had 4 in total, all full of. So yeah, it was crazy. This year there is our team and then one other. So we've got one other team from the school.
And I guess the 2019 world champions are from the United Kingdom itself, right? So definitely, yeah. Also, this was a question that I asked that was related to sponsorships. But another question that many people have is that how do you look? I mean, how do you prepare your portfolios, right? Because that's also a very important aspect of this competition, right? That the both engineering and enterprise portfolio. So, what is your approach while making them, and how do you make all of those portfolios possible?
Well, we've been trying to keep as much as like document as much while we're going through the competition. Because I feel last year we didn't keep as many notes just as we were developing. And so when it came to the portfolios, we weren't entirely sure, we can't remember what was going on months ago. Whereas now we've been very good with keeping all the sketches, all the different crazy ideas, all the ideas we threw out, like logos. And now we plan very carefully the folios and then we just add it all in, try and make it readable.
Obviously, this time we do not have to print our portfolios, right? Because it's virtual, right? But till last year, what was your strategy? Because obviously, Formula One aims to have a zero carbon footprint. Like they have a zero carbon initiative, and they want that the world is sustainable by 2030, right? So obviously, multiple teams that are participating in Formula One in schools have this main common goal of promoting sustainability, right? So, is there a particular thing that Team Fibonacci is doing in order to promote sustainability?
A lot of it's just developing like our initial approach to things to try and make it so it's just more efficient. It's not as wasteful with using materials. Like for testing, our initial plan was to use CO2 canisters and then just for each race be going through them. Of course, it's not very sustainable because then you end up with loads of used cartridges, and all these cartridges have to be going shipped to us. And that's really bad for the environment. And so now we're trying to do it with same kind of simulation, but with bike pumps. And so then we're just using air, which is way better for the environment. And so it's just things like that, and printing smaller when we're just doing test prints and so on. Just to do a little bit, which adds up to a lot if everyone does it.
Yeah, Robbie?
I'd also add that because we've been online for almost the whole year, that we've kind of done almost all of what we've done has been computer. We haven't generated many emissions
Yeah.
instead of writing things down and using sheets of.
I mean, that itself is contributing to sustainability, I guess. Yeah, that's also a very genuine answer, I guess. Right. My last question, but not the least, is related to manufacturing your car, right? So, what is the idea? Like, once you say, for suppose, we have to design a car for the competition, right? So, what's your first approach in mind, and how you take inspiration from, and how is that first impression in your mind is that how you'll create and start designing your car?
Well, I think we kind of took inspiration from lots of different things. I mean, we did look at past cars from the F1 schools. We also looked at like real life cars as well. And I mean, so even like kind of birds and their wings or aeroplanes, we looked at certainly aerofoil shapes from NASA, all sorts of things like that.
Awesome. Yeah. Do Matt have to add anything, or Robbie?
Well, we've designed so many test cars, and each one has come from different kind of inspiration. Like we've got one shark car, we've got cars based off the Batmobile, we've got cars based off jet designs. We've made our own jets as well to be made. You know, inspiration just comes from all around us, and we just try and utilize whatever's gone into making them really fast. How can we make this model car as fast as possible?
Yeah, amazing. Right. Also, coming to the end of our podcast, I'd like each one of you to, say a thank you note, or maybe whatever you like. Would you like, whosoever is hearing to us? I mean, what is your experience till now, and how you see Formula One in schools rising up in near future? Right. So we'll start with Abby, and then we'll go with Matt, and then we'll finish it off with Robbie.
I think it's definitely been extremely enjoyable, and I can see like Formula One in schools is definitely just going to get more and more popular as more and more people hear about it. And I mean, I definitely think it's been really great, like talking to you guys on this podcast and other teams as well. I mean, it just listening to how other teams maybe do it as well is really good, and it helps also spread like the word so that more people can join in the future.
Perfect. Matt?
Yeah, the same thing. I just want to thank F1 Schools because it's given us this opportunity to really do what we're doing with engineering and really take part in this project and just do something different from what we've ever done in school. And to be able to engage with people who are like us, who enjoy the same kind of thing, who are determined and who enjoy engineering just as much as we do from all around the world, and being able to connect with people we'd otherwise never get the opportunity to meet. Thanks.
Yeah. Robbie?
Yeah, and I'd like to. It's a big learning curve that you really feel at the end of it.
Yes, I guess that was it about this podcast, and it was really lovely talking to such lovely people out from United Kingdom. Uh, we'll see you there in the next podcast. Until then, we're signing off. Thank you.